love that kid that's hurt. I can't remember his name.
Faults,
No, not Fultz.
Isaacs.
Isaacs. Yeah, they
Yeah,
they love that kid. That's their power forward of the future. They they need to get rid of Gordon or get nothing for him, and
I
they
think they're
have a
going to
point
look
guard
for a
problem.
rebuild package there, though. That's my guess. Don't forget they drafted Cole Anthony, who was playing well before he got hurt,
This is true, but he's
and
not.
they have Fultz.
He's not Spencer Dinwiddie. He's not Spencer Dinwiddie. Neither one of those guys are Spencer
Yeah.
Dinwiddie, and neither one of those guys, like even hurt, you know he's more sturdy than those two.
Here's an interesting option. I guess Dallas can't trade us a draft choice because the Knicks have it, but
Hmm.
I was going to say like Kleber from Dallas and like their first round pick this year. Maybe a couple of twos.
Yeah, I'd do that one too. I do that.
Something like that.
It's just that Kleber is so much. He's not anything like, but he would play in the same slot as Nicholas Claxton, and I like Claxton better.
Yeah. Yeah, what's happening is it's starting to get to like how are they going to work these minutes out when Griffin is there and Durant comes back and they're going to trade for a player. They're going to have some good problems on their hands in
For
terms of
me,
how to
DeAndre
allocate
shouldn't
minutes.
play.
Yeah, it's getting to that point.
I know in my heart that Blake Griffin is better than DeAndre Jordan.
One thing that bothers me about DeAndre is when the fans are like, he's fucking lazy. He's not lazy. This guy worked his ass off his whole career. He's old.
He's old.
And he's 7 foot. He's gonna die in his 50s. You don't see guys like that walking around.
That's right. You don't see
They don't
70-year-old. You don't see 70-year-old 7'2" dudes like.
Right. I remember Blake Griffin when he was getting drafted. He went out with Boomer and Carton, and Carton goes, "How does it feel to know you're gonna die in your 60s?" He was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, statistically, people your size like die in their early 60s." And he was like, "I'm getting drafted tomorrow night. I haven't thought about it." So
Dude,
DeAndre just is done. He can still dunk because he's tall and long, and if he gets his feet underneath him, he can still get up. But if he has to like quickly jump, it just can't happen. He's got to completely gather himself.
No. He the thing that's killing him is when people stop short. Like he'll have the rim protected.
Right.
He'll be planted down there. He's like a big I am Groot, just planted in the paint. But if an offensive player just stops 3 feet in front of him and takes a jump shot, he just cannot. He cannot run out and contest 7 feet, much less contest. He has a few jumps left, but they're not quality jumps. They're old jumps, like
right.
these. And I think Blake has more, and I think it's drastic how much better in every single game that this has happened. Like they finally Nash lets Nicholas Claxton finish a game, but now it's happened twice.
Center by the playoffs. I guess it probably depends on the buyout market and the trade market.
If you get Andre Drummond, then the answer is no, right?
Right.
But
or if they trade for a center with Dinwiddie, there's always a possibility.
Or if, like, let's say they did something freaky, like they got Otto Porter instead, and where it makes it where he could be a small ball 5, but
right.
they could start the games with Claxton. I don't know. You know what? I just don't think they could do it and it would work. But I just don't think when you're going for a championship,
right? They throw a 20-year-old in there.
And the difference between him and DJ is drastic. It's like he's. I got to look at the plus minus again, but it's a little ridiculous.
It's been very glaring. Just the overall energy of the team picks up, the defense picks up, and he brings the same stuff on offense, but he obviously has more skill. And going back to Griffin, he's lost his powers too, but Blake can actually dribble a basketball, shoot a basketball, pass
right.
it. When you're big like DeAndre and everything you brought was athleticism and it's gone, what else is there? Like he gets dumb fights with the officials and shit sometimes too. Like it's just over, and I'm sure he's frustrated, and it's probably a little embarrassing for him too. But it's just time. Sit there, collect your money, collect your rings, and enjoy the show.
Come in on some mop up duty. You know what I mean? I just don't. I cannot see him being better than Blake Griffin. I cannot see him being better than Nick Claxton. It's like I said, the difference between the two is drastic. And like even the game last night, he cost us the game last night in the playoffs,
dude. And so like they start games down, they go away from him, they get back into it. They start the half down, they take him out, and they get back into it. It was kind of like the same thing in the Pacers. I thought they were going to lose the Pacer game because I was like, they're going to pull him, meaning Claxton, at some point, and they're going to go to DeAndre, and the defense is going to suffer. Kudos to Nash. He stuck with him.
Yeah.
So he's getting better. Nash is getting better in regards to those things. I think he's getting a little bit more balls on the sideline in terms of things like that. He feels like, all right, look, like, fuck this guy. I'm just going with what I think is best. So he's getting better in those areas.
And, Jeff Green is kind of his carriage is turned back into a pumpkin. Not that he's playing horrible. It's just he's limited. He's Jeff Green.
Well, look, he wasn't going to shoot 50% from three all season, but Jeff was excellent in the Knick game and as well, and then the Pacer game as well. He's been everything for a minimum signing. You could not have asked for better.
Oh no, I will sing his praises. I think that's been that's a legendary Nets signing.
He will hit a big three in the playoffs for us, and so he's going to have his moment will come in the playoffs.
He has a very Robert Horry-esque aura to him. I agree.
Right, he gets up too, man. He's just a freak at that age. He gets up and he fully extends when he tries to dunk.
Oh yeah,
like he gets his hands up there. You're not blocking him.
He's the oldest guy on the team.
Week, though. Yeah, his free throws could use a little bit work, but
that's why I greatly just think that the Nets have to add some size and athleticism. They do need a defensive wing. That's what the newspapers are saying they're looking for Dinwiddie. But we'll see. You wanted to say something before we do the games coming up?
Well, I would just say they need a better version of Bruce Brown, because in the playoffs, teams are going to really strategize to force him to be the playmaker.
Oh yeah, yep.
And that's you need somebody with. Unfortunately for him, is you've already seen the adjustments. Teams know that they can test that. He can't shoot over the bigs. He's just too short. He doesn't get up enough, and he doesn't have the arm length. Great guy, love him. Good rotation piece, but in terms of the playoffs, if they can get a guy bigger than him,
right,
but who could also help on the defensive side, he can take a seat on the sideline next to TLC.
Durant and Nick Claxton together on the court can look crazy.
Well, how about this one? Durant, Claxton, Otto Porter, Kyrie, and Harden.
Jeez.
Give me all the lengths.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yo, that's kind of unfair.
that's a lot of length.
That's like all arms and just guys that all those guys have played defense at some point, and every single one of them can score. That would be sick.
Yeah. Let's get to the week because I don't even know the schedule.
All right. So tomorrow we have the Wizards.
Okay.
Right? That's our bounce back win, right?
And we owe them one too.
Correct. This is a busy week too. So tomorrow we have the Wizards. I think Kyrie and Harden had a little bit of a rough game yesterday, but I think Nash has found some things out about this team, and he's gonna pull the trigger faster. If not, go ahead and start the young Claxton. You've seen him do some controversial stuff, previous. But I think for this team, like the Wizards that have these young, bouncy front courts, you're going to need to start playing Claxton in those spots. I'm looking forward to that. You think that's a dub?
Look, they're going to be probably 10-point favorites, so yes.
Yeah, I'm still going to bet.
We're not getting swept by the Wizards.
Yeah. Then we go west. We've got the Trailblazers a 10
And then I
p.m.
think it's Utah on a back-to-back, right?
Correct. Like
So
I
a
wonder,
split
do we
there.
do we save Kyrie for the Jazz, or do we save him
What
for
I
the?
actually would
Because I'd
do
love to
is
see him against the Trailblazers.
I would let them play against Portland. And then I think James needs to sit for a game because he's logging a lot of minutes. His 3-point shooting looks a little flat. Take the Utah game off. You're probably going to lose it anyway. Just let Chioza run out there for 35 minutes.
I don't want to see Chioza. I'd rather see.
No, I don't understand why he doesn't play him like the nights Kyrie sits. Like even like just in the first half, if you give him like a 4 or 5 minute spurt, he'll get guys shots.
You want to know what it is? They keep thinking that TLC is going to bounce back.
Yeah,
I don't think TLC is bouncing back. I think he'll have a good game here and there, but I think this is we're just seeing what TLC is, and I think Nash got overly impressed by TLC and has been using him more than he should.
TLC in a practice setting a coach is gonna like him. He's long.
Yeah,
he does play hard, and his shot looks pretty.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't
so I
go
can
in.
see. Yeah, well, he's either hot or he's very, very cold, and he's usually cold more often than not. So I can see why teams get tantalized by him, but I've seen enough. Look, he's just the bottom end of the rotation kind of guy.
Yeah,
14th, 15th man.
I'm living in Tyler Johnson's trailer park, yo. That dude has been playing pretty good.
His pits stink.
You know they do, but
he's so fucking musty.
He's our guy. He's our musty though.
He's the kind of guy like when he takes his socks off, like the lint sticks to his feet.
Are you kidding me? Tyler Johnson doesn't take his socks off ever. So so which one is the dub and which one is the L? The Trailblazers.
I'll say we beat Portland and then we lose to Utah.
All right, I'm gonna say we win both. Pistons on Friday.
Dub.
That's the game we lose.
Yeah, it's dub.
So we'll be talking about it. I mean, last week should have been a clean sweep. We lost one.
Yeah,
we didn't cover on a couple of them. But
all right, and the last thing, where does Dinwiddie wind up?
You know what? I haven't the foggiest. Like, I just know they have to get more than a first round pick for him. A first round pick at least is the minimum. A first round, they have to be doing things to recoup what they've lost in these trades.
And I'd say particularly, I would like it to be a first round pick in the 2022 draft because we have one this year.
Yes.
And I don't really want to add 2 rookies to the team.
Right.
Like,
no, that's a good way to think about it.
There's not going to be room for 2 guys picked late.
You're not going to hit Nick Claxton twice in one draft.
Although we kind of have. We've done it. He's been eating in those, other than the Kuruks
and Musa
draft, which I remember watching that draft and being like, I just watched like 3 hours of this slog fest for the Nets to draft 2 guys I've never fucking heard of. I
knew Musa, and I was a Musa fan, but I think he got here and just was like, yo, I'm rich. He's the white version of a black kid coming from the hood and just being overwhelmed by the money and the fame.
Yeah,
because he was
Kuruks
awesome.
Got traded again.
Who?
Kuruks got traded.
Oh yeah. He's on the move. They want him.
He'll be in fucking Bosnia in a year, wherever the fuck he's from.
Yeah, I could see him. I could see him playing in the Spanish league. He came through the Spanish league. So
take your money and go home.
Yeah, you made billions.
Thanks for the memories.
Congrats. So, Jazz game is the L. The Pistons game is the one I'm more worried about.
I think we both have them going 3-1 this week, just in a different way. But look, 4-0 wouldn't shock me either. But I would be surprised if Kyrie and or Harden played both of those Portland Utah games. I just don't see it happening.
And that wraps that up, man.
Hey, I'm getting vaccinated. My second vaccine Monday.
Mine's the 28th.
Let's get back to fucking life.
Absolutely.
Let's get back to the Barclays Center.
Yo, I am at Eve Darbooz. This is my guy.